December 1939, northern Finland. A frozen wilderness where the temperature plunges below minus 30 degrees Celsius and silence itself feels lethal. The Soviet Union believed this would be easy. They were wrong. This is the story of the Battle of Tolvajärvi, a clash so unexpected, so humiliating for the Red Army that it earned a mocking nickname, the Sausage War. The Winter War had just begun. The Soviet Union, one of the largest military powers on Earth, invaded Finland with overwhelming numbers. Tanks, artillery, tens of thousands of troops. Finland had almost none of that. What Finland did have was terrain, cold, and men who knew how to survive both. Tolvarjavi was a frozen lake region near the Soviet border. Dense forests, narrow roads, deep snow. The kind of place where big armies move slowly and die quietly. The Soviets sent the 139th Rifle Division straight through it. Their goal was simple: break through Finnish lines and push deeper into the country. They assumed resistance would collapse. Instead, they walked into a trap. Finnish forces were vastly outnumbered, about 4,000 men against nearly 20,000 Soviet troops. But the Finnish commander, Colonel Paavo Talvala, saw opportunity where others saw defeat. The Soviets were stretched thin, dependent on a single road, and completely unprepared for the cold. Talvala's plan was bold: split the Soviet column, isolate their units, destroy them one by one. No tanks, no air superiority, just skis, rifles, and precision. On December 12, 1939, Finnish troops struck first. They didn't charge, they appeared. White camouflage blending into the snow. Finnish ski troops glided silently through the forest, cutting off Soviet supply lines and communication. Soviet units became confused, separated, and surrounded. Then came the cold. Weapons froze, engines failed. Soldiers who stood still for too long simply never stood again. The Red Army had numbers, Finland had mobility, and mobility was everything. As Finnish troops overran Soviet positions, they discovered something unexpected: field kitchens, still running, still warm. The Soviet troops had brought sausages, soup, bread, hot food meant to boost morale. Finnish soldiers, half-starved and exhausted, captured the kitchens intact. They ate the sausages. Then they used the kitchens to feed their own men. Word spread fast. Soviet soldiers, already demoralized, learned that the enemy wasn't just defeating them, they were eating their food. From that moment on, the battle earned its nickname, the Sausage War. It wasn't official, it was worse, it was humiliating. Finnish forces pressed harder. They used a tactic called matti, cutting Soviet units into isolated pockets, then destroying them systematically. No massive charges, no heroic last stands, just patience, precision, and relentless pressure. Soviet tanks were useless in the forest. Artillery couldn't find targets. Commanders lost control. By December 13th, the Soviet advance had completely collapsed. Thousands of Soviet soldiers were killed or captured. Finnish casualties were minimal by comparison. Against every expectation, Finland had achieved something historic. Tolvarjavi was the first major Finnish victory of the Winter War.